In Martin Scorsese's biopic The Aviator, about the eccentric tycoon Howard Hughes, Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays Hughes, has a terrific line that's been on my mind a lot lately. During the kangaroo court Senate hearing that Hughes was subject to at the whim of Pan Am and Senator Owen Brewster, he comes out swinging, telling the committee,
"If you hadn't have gone too far overboard, if you hadn't have put the red-hot iron in my side, I might have been willing to take a shellacking in this publicity spree of yours. I might have been willing to sit back and take a certain amount of abuse, simply because, well, I am only a private citizen, whereas you are a senator with all sorts of powers. But I think this goddamn circus has gone on long enough."
The sentiment embodied in this pronouncement is exactly what I feel when I think about what we, the regular working folk of the world, have been subjected to for the past 2 years. The essence of these words is in the admission that, yes, I am not naive, I know how the world works, and I am a person of little consequence. And as such, I might have been willing to take a shellacking from the powers that be. I might have been willing to grit my teeth and deal with their lies, corruption, treachery, and outright criminality. I might even have been willing to put up with aspects of my civil liberties being trampled in order to get along and enjoy life, free from the vagaries of politics. I might have been willing to put up with their bullshit had they not gone too far overboard. But the mask is off now, and the red-hot iron is most certainly in our side. Why then is it important to reiterate the words of Howard Hughes? For me, it's to remind myself that there is nothing whatsoever normal about our new normal. But you might say, things are going back to the old normal. Lockdowns are a thing of the past, masks are gone, vax passports are being dropped. And you'd be right. Things are beginning to more closely resemble the world before COVID. Although let us not gloss over the fact that core tenets of our civilization, like travel and employment in many places, remain off limits for the unvaccinated, an ongoing crime against humanity that demands justice. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that things are moving away from the draconian edicts and brutal police state tactics that characterised 2020 and 2021. An easygoing type, or an establishment enthusiast, might be given to pointing this out when one brings up the vile human rights abuses that were perpetrated on us for 24 months, and the many lives that were irrevocably scarred or outright destroyed by reckless social engineering and experimental medications. A hypothetical apologist might make statements such as, "Oh yes, it was far from ideal, but things are improving now. Why are you still so bent out of shape?" Indeed, this is a popular refrain right now, especially as the bullets fly in Ukraine, with many a Facebook philosopher offering up this useful straw man. People are being blown to bits right now in Ukraine, and here you are talking about your freedom. Wake up! Apart from the fact that these folk evidently cannot see how they are being manipulated by the global corporate media complex, neither the war in Ukraine nor the fact that our societies appear to be slowly returning to normal can erase what has happened in the last 2 years. Not war, nor time, nor God himself can turn back the clock and take away the abominable abuses we were subjected to. It happened. And more importantly, it showed us, once and for all, the nature of the people who rule over us. The politicians, the media elite, the corporations, and the vast unelected bureaucracies at the local, national and supranational levels. They took off their masks and showed us what lies beneath. Many stared in horror at this leering face of evil, and we can't unsee what we saw. Many more looked the other way or somehow rationalised what they were seeing. This is why I won't let it go. This is why I repeat the words of Howard Hughes to myself. It reminds me that some things cannot be forgiven and must never be forgotten. In the pre-COVID world, I and many others knew that something was rotten in Denmark, or indeed in Davos. We knew our leaders were deeply flawed. We knew the system was stacked in favour of the big dogs, and the best most of us could hope for was a pleasant, peaceful existence, free from too much tragedy. But most of us clung to the basic belief, which seems terribly naive now, that those in charge had a modicum of humanity and ultimately did not wish us ill. It is no longer possible to hold that belief. So while I used to play the game, sometimes with a sour taste in my mouth, hoping for a better world, but resigning myself to reality, I now reject it. I reject the system. I reject it because I think this goddamn circus has gone on long enough. Do I want a revolution? The simple answer to that is yes. But this is not a simple question, and I do not approach it in a cavalier way. Up until very recently, I was firmly opposed to the notion of revolution in all its guises. It was unthinkable to me, because no matter how rotten our system was, it certainly did not justify something so extreme. COVID showed me I was wrong about that. John Lennon was wrong. It isn't going to be all right. Exactly what a good revolution looks like, I'm not entirely sure yet. And to be clear, I'm not invoking Lenin or Castro. I believe revolution can potentially be achieved peacefully if enough people wake up. Decentralization is key. Crypto, self-sufficient farming, solar power, a free internet, etc. But we're racing against the clock, and our enemies have a head start. The one thing I do know is that I can't go back. It is clear where the elites plan to take things from here. The stage has been set for the new normal. It has indeed been normalised, and they can and will bring it back at any time they see fit. The credulous among us scoff when we speak of the Great Reset, calling conspiracy theory. To this I respond, if by conspiracy theory you mean the idea that rich and powerful people gather, in places like Davos for instance, and discuss how to consolidate and grow their influence and control society through things like carbon credits and digital IDs for instance, and even write down their intentions in books like COVID-19, The Great Reset, for instance, then you're goddamn right it's a conspiracy. I can't go back. I can't unsee their crimes. The mask is off, and now I know my enemy. And if they hadn't gone so far overboard, if they hadn't put the red-hot iron in my side, I might have been willing to take a shellacking in this power grab of theirs. I might have been willing to sit back and take a certain amount of abuse, simply because I am only a private citizen, whereas they are rich and influential people with all sorts of powers. But I think this goddamn circus has gone on long enough. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to my Substack at jjdawson.substack.com. And if you'd like to keep in touch, please follow me on Twitter at RealJJDawson. You can also follow me on Minds, Getter and Gab. And if you enjoyed this, please do give it a like and share it around, because it really helps me out.